the people. There's nothing you can do. If people put them in, people can take them.
Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start the council meeting, we have a presentation to make to the 11 and under Team Dream basketball organization that won the gold medal in the California State Games. And I believe their coach is here, and I'd like him to come up and say a few words. Coach? Right there, right there.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say we're very, very, very proud to be here, one. And two, these young men are from Inglewood and Compton in Los Angeles, but our foundation starts with Coach Barry and myself, who we're natives of Inglewood. I grew up in Inglewood from the time I was 11 years old and went to Morningside High School and then went on to Seton Hall University, and now we're back here in the community doing what someone did for me back when I was a young fella, which was my dad, who's sitting in the back. He's one of the coaches when I was a young guy, and a lot of other guys who committed to Inglewood, and now Coach Barry and I are back to try to build that foundation once again in the city.
All right. If you would do me a favor and introduce each one of your players and have them stand there under the seal, we have a presentation for them.
Also, I'm going to bring Coach Barry up here to assist me with that.
Good evening, everyone. We would like to start by introducing Team Dream. We will start with Lathan Wigington.
Only take them over there.
And second, we will go with Barrington Hargrass. Denzel Okoye. We have a couple who are coming up right now, but right now those are the ones who are here.
All right. And we also have Miss Okili, I think it is, from track
Yes,
and field.
Destiny Okoye.
Okoye?
Yes, she ran track and won third place. Oh, and our big time, our center, as usual, he's coming in. This is Tyler Powell. And what we did, we were given this banner. And we practice at Rogers Park. It's a big part of what we do. And we're going to give this to Rogers Park to hang up.
Okay, we didn't think that resolutions were appropriate, and so we have Inglewood Champions medals that we are also going to bestow upon the players. for our Inglewood champions. Mel. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
We have a presentation by Mr. Ron Rubino, the Acting Manager of Parking Enterprise Services, to provide a brief update on the implementation of the private-public partnership for parking enforcement, meter operations, and traffic control.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. As the mayor said, I'm Ron Rubino, Acting Manager, Parking Enterprise. I work under the direction of Artie Fields, our city manager. I'm here tonight to provide a status report on the implementation of the public-private partnership with Serco for parking enforcement, meter operations, traffic control services at the city of Inglewood. We are pleased to report to the mayor and city council and the residents and the businesses of the city of Inglewood that the Serco and the city have completed the recruitment, the hiring, the training, the implementation on schedule. The contract was awarded by the City Council May 19th. We were operational June 30th, only 41 days later. Our successful fast start was due to the commitment by Serco of more than 20 HR professionals for screening applications, interviewing, and conducting a job fair. The hiring process included background and drug testing. Our city staff and Serco staff worked together to plan the hiring process, execute the plan, and provide training to people we hired. It has been a team effort. We are now on our 30th day of parking services operations. We have 63 Serco employees, 3 Duncan service employees, 4 city parking service employees, and 3 administrative people overseeing the operations. All areas of operations, including parking enforcement, parking meter operations, traffic control, customer service, and dispatch are doing well. Our initial traffic enforcement was conducted with a period of issuing warnings, and we are now fully enforcing all regulations. During July, we have issued 5,177 citations. We have staffed a number of forum traffic control events, and we have brought our average time down from exiting the 405 at Manchester to the forum parking lot at peak time of arrival for concerts to 8 minutes. We successfully staffed last week's Century Boulevard detour from 9 p.m. to early morning Monday 2 a.m., while still providing traffic control services for 4 forum events. We are closely coordinating parking services with the police department and are jointly planning efforts for upcoming large events planned for the forum. The relationship with the police department, Public Works, Parking and Enterprise Services, and the Serco staff is excellent. The city's Public Works Department has been extremely helpful during our implementation. As I mentioned earlier, the success of the Inglewood Parking Services public-private partnership has been a team effort. I would like to recognize key members of the city and Serco management team, and then ask Jean Costa, Serco's Vice President of Transportation Infrastructure, to give a short report to the mayor and the city council. People in our audience tonight, I have Tanya Eileen, and she is the city's employee designated as our parking services supervisor. She reports to Tanya Perry. Unfortunately, Tanya cannot be here tonight due to family illness. These are the 2 key people directing the operation, and they are city employees working in our department. Our private sector partners, the 2 key on-site managers, Richard Kowalczyk, who's right here, He's enforcement, dispatch traffic, and Dean Varick, who's the meter operations customer service. With that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Costa to come up and make a few comments about the status of our operation.
Thank you. On behalf of Serco and the employees we hired to support the City of Inglewood's parking services operation, I want to thank the City Council and the City Manager for your support. Pleased to report that we're on schedule and operating and performing within budget. The fast start mentioned by Mr. Rubino was due in large part to the extensive advanced planning that was performed by you during the proposal process, to which we followed on with our commitment to provide at no cost to the city resources to bring staff onto the project with recruitment and training. As Ron mentioned, we deployed 20 staff specialized in human resources and enforcement services to perform functions such as the recruiting, the testing, the onboarding, training, and ultimately deployment. During the process of a very short time frame, we screened over 650 applications, interviewed over 195 people, made initial selection of 43 part-time and 30 full-time employees. We then put them through background screening and further testing, and ultimately finally hired a staff of 63. Of those 63 employees, 10 were during that whole process, all 10 existing employees from the city were offered jobs. 8 accepted and are currently working with us. And in the end, I'm pleased to report that 16 employees are residents of the City of Inglewood. Examples of some of our current priorities over the next couple of weeks is continue to provide the traffic control services to the forum and for all events from Manchester 405 exit to the forum parking within the 8 to 10 minute time frame that Mr. Rubino mentioned. We're performing complete inventory and overhaul of existing parking meters, stocking needed replacement parts, and evaluating use of credit card capable parking meters in the future. We're implementing, in conjunction with the city, new business permit parking district and the annual renewal of residential parking permits. And finally, working with Public Works to identify parking signs and curbs which require repair and maintenance. In conclusion, we appreciate the opportunity to serve the residents and the businesses of the City of Inglewood and pledge to continue to provide a high quality of services and become an active member in your business community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to go to public comment. Any persons wishing to speak on any item on today's agenda may do so at this time. I want to make a notation on page 40 of the notes to basic financial statements. The auditors have a misstatement. Under Madison Square Garden Forum, the last line reads, in January 2014, the loan was forgiven. It should have read, the loan was dispersed per the terms of the development agreement. It was not forgiven. And they will note that in their presentation as well. Any persons wishing to make a comment on any item may do so now.
Roy Fisher, the First District. I want to comment to begin with on finances. I'm not happy with several things that you them are doing. Number one, it seems to me that you're allotting monies to friends and family that this city doesn't necessarily have. You have said that these people are doing extra work, which I don't believe, But I will note that you all always concur on things. I just really think it's rather unfair to this city, for you to give away monies that you're doing. And since you had these people here from Circle tonight, I think it's kind of wrong that they hired 16 people out of 64 that live in the city of Inglewood. That was supposed to be a hurrah, hurrah, that they had 16 people that worked here in the city out of the 64 people. So, I think that all the people that they got rid of and those 5,000 tickets that they've given out already are going to impact the residents of this city negatively. And I guess that none of you really care, because all it is money for them, people who don't even live in this city, most of them, and, money naturally for the city to squander on nonsense like giving monies to family and friends.
Mr. Fisher, every employee that worked in the parking operation that was left was offered employment.
I would like to address the officials. About 5 years ago, my son was almost killed by the gangs of Inglewood, and I was threatened by my life also. I was forced to take my son out of the school system at that point in time. I think that it was the best thing that I ever did in my life. In regards to my youngest son, the situation was addressed by City Councilwoman Dunlap, and it seemed like for a minute the situation got under control a little bit, and I was content. I am an ordained minister, and the city of Inglewood is under the prayers of many warriors all over the United States of America. However, I'm saddened by the latest news. I'm saddened by one of my son's friends being gunned down right here in the city of Inglewood at the corner of La Brea and Hart Park. And I'm sad to hear that almost 20 people during the month of May to July has been gunned down in the city of Inglewood.
That's not
I'm
true,
saddened
ma'am.
by the facts also that this information is not being provided to the news. I'm saddened by those news. I would like to address the council people.
Ma'am, you're going to have to come back at the end. This is an agenda item, but just to correct you, there were not 20 people shot between May and July. That's just not true. But anyway, you can come back at the end, and we'd be glad to hear the rest of it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Sir.
Oh, sorry. Hi. I'm really sorry. I am legally blind. I can barely read, I'm gonna. Oh, my God. So. Hi, my name is Joaquin Rivera. I am a resident of 22 years living in the city of Champions. She's talking about his son friend, my son, he was murdered. I am his father. I'm going to try to be brief because you see, I don't want to be dramatic, but this is not painful. What I am living right now is suffering in my soul. Suffering is very different. Let me be brief, and I really apologize if I be a little longer. I won't take it too much time of you, Mr. Butts. I remember when you went to the church, and we gave you support 4 years ago. The church, and we're still behind you. I am father of 3 children. I'm father of 3 children, 2 sons, 1 daughter. The older one has been killed, murdered. Like a coward person who did it, kill him by the back. Mr. Butt, might be impossible to explain this time, but Cross the street from DMV and La Brea and Hyde Park. Just be in my situation. When they tell you that they can do anything because the camera are not working, they're not operating. So what is the evidence? 100 people saw it, that crime, 3:45 p.m. Beautiful sunny day, beautiful, shiny. There are about 10 businesses around. No camera at all. After 2 months, for the next meeting I have with one of the homicide department, look at what they tell me. Another joke. It's a joke for me. It's a lie. Mr. Rivera, the camera are grainy. The picture, we can see it. Grainy? I don't know if that's the right word. We can barely see who's that person. Which lie should I believe? The first one, when they tell me the camera that were not working, or the picture acts grainy on the camera? Mr. Buns, I can barely read now. My vision can barely read.
Sir,
But
sir, here's what I'm going to do. You know, this is not the price for it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the lady finish for you so she doesn't have to wait for the end of the meeting, but I did give you extra time, so ma'am, why don't you go on and finish for him, and that way you don't have to wait till the end of the meeting.
okay.
Thank you, sir. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Aquí está, mira.
I'm going to try to read what I can read. Do you know that we have high level of crime, homicide, besides too much gang activity, sales of drugs, assault, robbery, prostitution, etc.? Do you know the last report and statistics of these issues? How many deaths of young kids we have so far, and how many has been solved? How many of you are a father of young men? I want to ask you, how do you feel? What will you do? What will you think? How will you leave? To my knowledge, the city has cameras all around. All of them works 24/7, but at the scene of crime where my son was murdered, it's only working 24 minutes, 7 days a week. That day, the cameras, they were not operating. Do you believe it? What a day that was, I told. To me, that night, in a couple of months, they told another joke or a story. The pictures on the camera are too grainy or grainy. I think he means to say fuzzy. You can't distinguish who it is in those pictures. Which version or lie I should believe? About 50 to 100 people saw the coward shooting, killing my son by the back, and they saw who did it. And this assassin was walking around the streets. Even he was at the Rogers Park the next day.
You believe it?
How this killer is going to be identified when there is not evidence in the cameras? People is not cooperating at all. Do the city has a reward for these cases? To the people who want to cooperate? Where should I go to ask for help? FBI department or justice or Mr. Jerry Brown's governor? Have you been in any of these funerals of these young men? Have you give any support to these families, or have you given any
Condolence?
any condolence to the parents?
No.
Okay, folks, thank you, but we're at time.
I remember when you came to
Ma'am.
our church.
Ma'am, you have our condolences, but you're at time right now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I read the best that I could, as much as I could.
Did very well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. God bless Inglewood. And God bless my President of America.
Thank you. All right, anybody wants to speak on the agenda items right now?
Hello, I'm retired councilman for District 1, Mike Stevens. I'm here today just simply to observe, but it struck me so odd. Financial document you're willing to accept, printed, vote upon, and is filed with something as major as that the form's agreement with the form has been forgiven. Before it was even brought before you, the city manager, finance director, should have reviewed it. If I was in District 1, I would never vote for this. Because if the city is ever audited, if for whatever reason doors come raining down, there's going to be a history lesson of what took place. And you want that to be accurate to protect yourselves. You don't want a document to be inaccurate. You want it to be accurate. So I would suggest that you send this document back to staff and have staff sign off on it that it is accurate. The I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. Because not to do so, you're negligent in your duty. Thank you.
Council members, my name is Diane Sembrano. I would hope that after the oral presentations are given with regard to these financial documents, you still allow the community the opportunity to address some of the comments that are made. Clearly, there's more than just that one line that we have issues with. I think online it was page 50 of 208 pages. What is really distressing to me is that happily we declare it's a forgiven loan in the future if X, Y, and Z, and then it appears it is a past tense already forgiven, which I have already told you 100 times. A loan forgiven before it's due is simply a gift and nothing more than a gift. So I look forward to hearing a presentation about our financial position, though if you can make something that kind of significant of an error, I don't know that I trust the other 207 pages either. With regard to this homeowner rehab loan, it's interesting to me that last week someone published the concept that they thought that our women in Inglewood at $35,000 were exceptionally well paid, and 116% of men, which would make men at 30-ish. Okay, and yet you've raised the ceiling here at 75. That doesn't seem to correlate with what you were pleased with in a newspaper, with what you're putting as a policy. But numbers have always been confusing in this room. Those pesky little zeros just get in the way, don't they? Kind of like, and I'm going to address this right now because I did notice, since it was so important that we not take time to hear about the homicide rate. How is it that not on the agenda? We did listen to kids' basketball and awards. We also, not on agenda, listened to a parking enforcement presentation. So it's either a printed agenda that we adhere to or it is not. but it seems to be, again, viewpoint discrimination.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. I'm happy to see people are finally interested in the financial condition of this city because it's most important. Now, on D2, D3, I like oral reports, and I like to speak on H3, DR1, CSA1, and H1 in payment of the bills. Mr. Fields. You see, we have a problem here with transparency, City Council, and all of you are mute. But let me still remind you once again, you have one spokesman, you're not saying anything, you are responsible for what he says by your silence, and you're going to be held responsible. Now we have what is called recognized obligation payment schedule. You guys are familiar with it? Any of you familiar with it? Hold your hand up. Because none of you are saying a word. Now, how can you pay a bill for 3 years and you owe more than you started with, Mr. Fields? We are now in debt, Mr. Mayor. When I was talking about the 2.2 billion, what you do, you laugh. How could we pay that? How much the interest rate on that, Mr. Field? That's comical. We are in debt. We north of 900 million. And we just added 36 million to that. Now tell me why. Chief Financial Officer, tell me why. Mr. Hoffman, Auditor, tell me why. But no, you give reports and you won't allow us to ask questions. And you have no questions because you don't understand or don't want to understand what's being said. Now you have a chief financial officer, one of the best. The third quarter is over. On Friday, the fourth quarter is 1 month into the fourth quarter. You haven't had a report on the third quarter. And this draconian cuts that you have made, you all should be removed from office. It's shameful what you're doing to this city. Either you don't understand finance or you're being led down the river. And sometimes when you owe, you owe. You got to dance who put you there. And as far as this politics in Inglewood, poly means many, and the tick is a blood-sucking insect.
My name is Alfonso Parker Jr. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 66-67, conscious objector, and I'm here. Where I've been allows you to snicker. Without me, you could not snicker. As a conscious objector, I've been screaming, talking, anyway, trying to get your heads out the sand. You're talking about the cities in financial trouble. You have board members that are having dealings close to God knows what. Thousands of dollars, loans, other things in relationship with one of our major hospitals here in Inglewood City. Family, we call it nepotism, on the verge of it if not. Collusion, on the verge of it if not. But I've been here repeatedly. You have a gold mine out there, but none of you, and not the district representative, has come to me to look at a thing. Just because it's federal doesn't mean you have no interest, because you have federal facilities located in your city borders, and they are accountable. And that is funding that you should have been interested in to find out just how real I am. You're finding out now because every day they're throwing themselves on the sword, right on down to the FBI, Boehner, all the suing, and you can't sue each other when you're all crooks. You can't do that, and when you're committing treason. And by the way, there's no statute of limitation on treason. Scandals in the paper, these aren't scandals, these are treason, terrorism. And thanks to the Bushes, domestic terrorism. You'll hear more from me. Come see me, young man. You weren't born then, but you owe Inglewood, because that's where you are. Forget LA. You're here representing Inglewood. And anywhere there's a dollar dime to be squeezed or found out to get Inglewood out of debt, you should be on top of it. You have never come to me and said boo from that stand. I will approach you one time. We wouldn't be in it. Thousands of dollars out there. It will come back to haunt all of you. It always does. When you lay down with a dog with fleas, just one. All you need is one. When you wake up the next morning, you'll think you got so many, you think you got the same amount. You have to average them out because you can't. You got it.
Any other public comment? Okay, we'll close public comment. Madam Clerk. Item 1, open access agency and housing authority,
A quorum is present.
CSA 1 and H1.
Move allow payment.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Item 2, CSA 2 and H2.
Approval of the minutes held for the following council, successor agency and housing authority, July 1st, 3rd, and 10th.
Move approval.
And July 1.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin. Mayor Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar, item 3.
I so move. Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR 1 and H3.
A staff report detailing the City of Inglewood's fiscal year 2012-13 financial statement and single audit.
Staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Tonight, I'd like to introduce Mr. Ken Aliman. He's here today to present the results of our annual audit. Ken Aliman is a shareholder in the CPA firm of Mayor Hoffman and McCann and is the lead auditor on our audit. He's known throughout the state of California as a leading authority on government accounting principles. He serves on several key committees and has published a number of white papers that provide accounting principles to California cities. He was also instrumental in coordinating various audit requirements and were associated with the statewide dissolution of redevelopment agencies in 2012. He's here to present the audit and answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much for this time to present to you the results of your annual financial statement audit. We have completed your audit. You know, the financial statement audit answers the question, are the financial statements of the city fairly stated in all material respects? We've completed all of the auditing tests that are required by the auditing standards, and those audit tests do indicate that your financial statement schedules are fairly stated in all material respects. The financial statement schedules are accompanied by notes to the financial statements, which do reflect the sentence that was previously referenced by the mayor, and we will be making a change in that one sentence. The financial statement schedules, which were the focus of our audit test, summarize all of the financial data that's contained in the accounting records of the city. That accounting data in your accounting records was subjected to our audit test. In performing those tests, we noticed significant improvement in the maintenance of accounting procedures by the City of Inglewood in recording their financial transactions from preceding years. I would be remiss not to recognize that. When we arrived at City Hall to start our audit, the city was better prepared for the audit than in previous years. Substantially all of the year-end adjustments were booked by the city prior to the start of the audit. And most of the recommendations from prior years had already been implemented, including the serious comments we had in last year's audit relating to the timely reconciliation of cash reconciliations. We also noted substantial improvement in the capital asset records that were provided to the audit team. This improvement in your accounting records could not be accomplished without the hard work and long hours of everybody in the finance department. We found significant improvement in almost all aspects of the audit process. And I would be remiss to not recognize the long hours and the hard work that was performed by your accounting personnel to achieve that substantial result. And I would like to have the persons in the finance department that are present here today stand so that I may thank them personally. Thank you so much. You made our audit process more effective, and it's just remarkable what you've done. I appreciate it. That concludes my presentation.
Okay, the only thing, I wanted to clarify that last sentence under the Madison Square Garden entry, that misstatement is going to be made to read that the disbursement was made in accordance with the development agreement.
Correct.
And so what we're approving today, Ms. Quakey, we're going to do with the notation that that one line, that
Correct.
inaccuracy is going to be rectified. Is that right?
Absolutely.
All
That's
right,
correct.
Thank you. Because we had a paper, put it online, and they had quite a lot of fun with it.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they did. Okay, thank you very much. Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR2.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution relating to the adoption of the retirees' health savings plan.
Move adoption. Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR3.
Staff report recommending approval of the revisions of the homeowner rehabilitation loan program policy and procedure manual authorizing the change to the City of Inglewood's homeowner rehabilitation loan program.
Move adoption. Second. Madam Clerk.
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye, and it's recorded as an approval. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. As to CS1, there was a held in the direction moving down. As to the next item was Rasul versus Inglewood. And as that matter, again, discussion was held. Item regarding the MTA.
A2.
Excuse me, no oral report.
CM1.
Yes, good afternoon, this evening, Mayor and City Council. I just wanted to thank the public for helping us keep our city beautiful. In the first quarter of this fiscal year, of this calendar year, we've received over 308 requests on our website from residents informing us of code enforcement violations in our city, and the majority of those are property maintenance issues. And so I want to thank the public who are going on our website and letting us know about these code enforcement violations so that we can do what we can to make our city that much more beautiful. And then lastly, I just want to let the public know that we do have our Movies in the Park starting August 9th. We'll be playing Despicable Me 2 at Darby Park. And August 23rd, we'll be showing Frozen at Inglewood City Hall South Lawn Plaza. And all the movies are free.
Thank you. CC1.
No remarks. Thank you, Mayor.
No treasurer's report. Any persons wish to address the council on any matter not contained on the agenda may do so at this time. Oh, excuse me, hold on one second before we do that. HR 3 and DR1, we took care of.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so yes, so please, anyone with the public comment may do so at this time.
Excuse me, I don't have my glasses, so it's hard to see. You have to wave at me. My name's Alfonso Parker, Jr. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 66, 67. Conscious objector, that means I went into combat with no weapons training. It was I would pick up the weapon or die. That's what our government does for you. But God fought me here. That's why I'm looking at you. Now, what I want, I have meetings 7 to 9, Thursday nights at Chuco's Youth Coalition Center, 1137 Redondo Beach. any veteran, actually any civilian that has medical records that have been trashed or whatever because you don't know it, but you're involved in it too because they practice on us and then they figure out how to interject it into civilian population. Tang, space, came to us, the greatest drink they ever made. Drones in war, now we got drones. This experiment, you're all guinea pigs and you don't know it. I can show you. I can show you the changes. I can show you when they made the changes. They've got the new young warriors now. They grandfathered all of us up through Vietnam, and they threw up and said, oh, well, now we're in Arizona. 40 deaths, and we're going to do this, and they're not even looking at you anymore because they buried your butts. Because they're only dealing with Arizona, but they're dragging you in as this long history of scandal with the VA. Well, first of all, let me say, it's not the VA. The military, you can't do anything military without orders. You don't have orders, you don't do anything. You can be standby 5 minutes, 5 years, but until you get orders, you don't do anything. The VA is just a rogue, treasonous, national security, executive branch organization. Always was created since June 47. By the way, she created her son. I don't know if it's her son. He's so sloppy, it's got to be because women are slicker than men. Known as the CIA Central Intelligence, September 47, 3 months later. If the son goes in around the world, or the daughter, I think it's the son because they're sloppy, everybody knows what they're doing, then what did the mother, where did he get it from? She bred him. She mentored him. So if she mentored that, what the devil do you think they're doing to you? Until you freeze these suckers' assets like they do drug dealers and make every last one with a Lawrence Darner degree, certificate, OJT, prove that they have not used that degree or had it when they made that decision to do what they've done. That goes from Maxine Waters, anybody that, any other politician, judge, doctor. If you mess with the people, it's treason. It's not a scandal. It is treason. It's espionage. And thanks to the Bush's domestic terrorists, you don't do your own.
Your time, sir.
Can I get my extra minute?
No, sir, your time.
Oh, now you,
Sir,
no offense,
it
man.
is discretionary, and you're at time, sir.
But I don't get to say what I got to say because
Sir,
it's not, you don't like to hear what you got to hear.
No, it's just that you're at time.
Okay, Mr. Flea.
I don't know.
Good evening. My name is Brenda Tippins, and I think you remember I was here the 1st of July to discuss the homicides and the help that the kids need. So I was sitting here this evening and listening to the financial situation that Inglewood is in. I still have concerns about the police department and extra police officers that they need because they are, with the number, we have a new kind of gang that's out here, and they're young, dumb, and treacherous. I'm not trying to be vindictive or anything, but we need some help for the police department to get out there and to solve these homicides that are occurring, and they're doing it like third world gangs and civil wars that are going on in the third world countries. No matter whether they were born here, come from the south of the United States, wherever they come from. So I'd like to, since we're not able or financially able
Ms. Tipkin?
to,
Just real quick, we had, no,
Okay.
I'm not going to take your time from me. We had 5 officers start from the academy today.
Okay.
And we're putting 5 more in, so we are getting more officers hired.
Okay, but another thing I'd like to ask, there are a lot of families here in Inglewood. You guys gave your condolences to me when I was here, but because the police are not able to solve these crimes, it would be to where maybe there's some kind of program for people to reach out to these parents that are really suffering, and how can we reach them? I'm not asking you to be some kind of a club that you go, like, when I first moved here, I had the women's club bring me a basket of flowers and different things. So I'm asking if the city would consider taking a look at how can, since we can't do the work in solving these problems, what can we do to help the parents who have lost their children? So, you know, and that should really be thought of very much so. Okay, and not only other things, but I'll be back again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening. My name is Luis Fernandez. I'm a firefighter paramedic with LA County Fire Department and head station here at headquarters of Station 1. I'm here to advise everybody about our CERT class, Community Emergency Response Training, that will be started here on the first floor in the community room. It is open to anybody who wishes to sign up, any local member of the community. It will be held every Tuesday and Thursday, starting at 6 to 9 p.m. This is for specialized training and kind of help you be ready for the big one, or any natural disaster or a large-scale emergency that can happen. Being here with in the county of Los Angeles, large metropolitan area, we're very prone to many different things, as everybody's well aware of. And this is one way to kind of teach everybody, kind of get them going in the right direction, how to really prepare. So I just wanted, we have flyers, these flyers here outside the table. Please be sure to go and take one and pass this around to anybody you know. Also, this Saturday, August 2nd, at our fire station here at Headquarters Station, we will be having a first annual summer pancake breakfast for benefiting our fire explorers. They're junior fire explorers. They're youth between 15 to 21, local Inglewood, and they're choose to pursue a career in the fire department, in the fire service. So we're having a pancake breakfast. There will be pancakes and eggs and all the good stuff for breakfast there. We'll also having a show me. We'll have the Jaws of Life in display, and they actually be put on. The demonstration will actually be put on by our teens that have been trained and gone to a small academy, and they'll be tearing cars up and showing how we do emergency medical services. Not at our level, but in the level that we've trained them. And also lots of other good things. There'll be bouncers for a kid and shaky, quakey, earthquake educational bus there will be available too. So these, both these flyers are located outside the table. My phone number, contact number is at the bottom. Any questions, concerns? Anybody like to donate, make any donations? We're also taking donations for a breakfast, but please feel free to pass this along to anybody you know. I'm going to have plenty there. But thank you for your time, gentlemen. You have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Are there any further public comment? Okay, if no one's interested.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is I'm retired City Councilman Mike Stevens. I'm here this evening to not only observe the council, I've been away for over a year, and I've been extremely disappointed in how you operate. There's no discussion. It's just simply I. But more important than that, I'm here today to announce my candidacy for mayor of the city of Inglewood, because it's time for the city to go in a different direction. It's time for transparency. It's time for us to allow those council members that represent their districts to represent their districts. This strong arming of council people, though they may not admit it, it appears that it's wearing a bit thin on the residents. So, I would like to say to everyone, I'm officially announcing my candidacy for the mayor of Inglewood. I hope that we have many debates, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Butts, many debates, and I hope we can discuss the issues that truly affect this city, because there are so many that affect this city until the residents are actually footing the bill. But what we have to do is we have to address the facts, address the issues, and deal with them. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texera. I'm asking the council to remove James Butts as council chair. James Butts knows that for years, most of his critics who speak here have mercifully only criticized James Butts' personal life, his lying, breaking the law, and violating civil rights as a police officer and now as a mayor. The facts of Butts' personal life, which might make him unfit to be mayor, are never mentioned. But now the way James Butts attacks his critics has crossed a line. Butts is putting the personal safety of his critics at risk, using his flunkies and the police to intimidate his critics with threats of violence and other illegal acts. So the mercy Butts had enjoyed, where his critics avoid Butts' disturbing personal issues, may soon end. In order to keep the public from hearing evidence of his crimes and IPD's misconduct, Butts has illegally ejected me from meetings. And the LA County DA confirmed that Butts violated state law and my right to free speech to do so. Since the DA warned Butts against violating the law and civil rights, Butts has come up with other ways to unethically and illegally intimidate his critics. Now Butts violates the rules and lets his supporters intimidate his critics by yelling, cursing, and threatening to hurt people and violate their civil rights. These are documented facts. Also, Butts threatened me with illegal police harassment, claiming that he was urging IPD to classify me as some sort of threat to public safety, not because I actually threatened anyone, but only because I come to these meetings and criticize Butts, something that a paranoid, mentally deranged dictator does. In a previous meeting, during my 3 minutes to speak, Butts caused me to be assaulted by an officer trying to wrestle a tape recorder out of my hand at this podium. Why did that happen? Because James Butts ordered the officer to stop me from playing a tape recording where you hear IPD say that if someone in Inglewood got shot at, there must have been a good reason. It creates a legal liability for this city to let Butts use his flunkies and those poor IPD officers that don't know any better to do the illegal and un-American crimes of violating state law and civil rights, crimes that the DA has now made James Butts afraid to do himself. And if Butts does not retract his slanderous claim that I pose some threat to anyone's safety, I will begin pointing out to the public the shocking facts of Butts' personal life that I believe make Butts unfit to run these meetings. A dangerous, lying, law-breaking, and civil rights violating man like James Butts should not be running these meetings.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Childers, and I came here particularly to ask the question about the noise reduction and how do you qualify in our area. It's actually 2909 Manchester, 82nd Street, I'm sorry. What do we need to do to qualify? Does that have to be area have to be surveyed?
You would call the sound installation program. They have maps that show the contours of the noise contours that have been measured. And if you're within the noise contours, then you would have to enroll, and then you would be placed in a queue, and your property would be done. But if you're outside the contours, then you wouldn't qualify.
How would we ascertain that information?
You would call the residential sound installation program.
Or your council person would be.
Either one.
Thank you very much.
One more question. But if we don't qualify at that particular time, because the plane does come across, and then it does interfere, so is there any kind of waiting list that you can get on there?
No, it isn't a matter of time. The FAA did measurements and tests, and so either you're within the contours and you qualify, or you don't, because the funding is a combination from the Los Angeles World Airport System and the FAA. And so either you're in or you're out. And so it's a very simple question. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody?
Hi, Damon Johnson here. Good evening to the executive members there, employees and the audience. You know, I'm on the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee, and I have an announcement for that at all, because we haven't made our next meeting. But I was listening tonight, people concerned about the money that Inglewood is going through. I don't know what that's all about. I'll have to look into that. But I just wanted to ask a question. For the Senior Citizen Center, that money is already earmarked and is in trust, isn't it?
It is already earmarked. It's a part of bond proceeds, and First of all, the city is not going through any money. In fact, you're going to find when we have our next quarter's report that we've saved more money, so.
Okay,
So-
yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It-
I just,
it-
I
it-
just
It's
asked.
getting near an election, sir. That's what's
Okay.
going on.
Okay.
All right,
I just wanted to know.
all right.
Gil Matthew, District 4. I am also a candidate for mayor of Inglewood. So we should have a very interesting election. And my message is to Ladera Heights, Briarwood, Carlton Square, and the Renaissance. Your community is going to be impacted more than any other community in the city of Inglewood. That's between Manchester on the north, Century on the south, Crenshaw on the east, and Prairie on the west. You don't come to council meetings, but if you don't, by your absence, you're going to be most impacted with increased density, noise, public safety, and it only can happen when you have a closed mouth, because it will never get fed. And the gentleman that's sitting on this council, it's nothing personal with any of them. But the leadership is not here. And with the condition of this city, it's going to take leadership. And I'm really opposed to the draconian cuts financially that's made to this city. We have no report on the third quarter, Mr. Fields. We 1/3 of the fourth quarter. Now, how are you going to get a budget for October 1st and you don't know the financial condition of the city? And there's no council person up here with any type of business experience. I'm not talking about reading and writing in business school. I'm talking about being in business. There's a difference between business life than school academics. It's a serious difference. And when you're talking about investments, it's something called ROI, return on investments. With no return, you're not a business person, you're a philanthropist. You want to give away money? Give away your own money. Don't give away city money. And I've been here 60 years. And I must tell you, I know where the bones are buried, and they're going to come to surface.
Well, Leroy Fisher has only been here for a little over 50 years. I haven't been here 60 years. But, I wanted to make note of Mr. Padilla last week saying about people being under rocks. Well, for those 50 years, I haven't been under a rock. I've been out here doing positive things all through the city. Where have you been until Mr. Butts brought you forward? Maybe you were under a rock. But you came out from under the rock, as the rest of you have done, giving monies away, tax dollar monies, with your aides at $60,000, with you more than that, with Mr. Butts, and this city, continues to go down. I happened to told you last week about the city of Compton and them having already put in their senior citizen center. They also had a community building that they built. This week I happened to read in our weekly, about the city of Carson. They're spending some $4.5 million on their bike paths, Councilwoman Dunlap, when she was here, she was promoting bike paths for the state of England. We don't have anything, It seems to me that, you were talking about all these great things that we have going here. What have you for the people here? Mr. Dotson, what have you got for the first district? I'll tell you what you got. You got an auto zone, which is nothing for the first district. I'll tell you what you're probably proposing at the old Safeway site is another dollar store when we could have a decent market, but no, it'll probably be another dollar store. Mr. Butts, last week, I was listening to this young man tell you about your injustice to this community. I will tell you that I supported you last election. I can't do that again, and I know that you don't care about that. But, there'll be other people like me that can't support you. But I'll tell you one thing about last week, when I walked up to that dais to speak to a lady, and you used your policeman voice telling me to get back, get back. You know what? You're not a police officer anymore. You're supposed to be the mayor of this city. And you don't tell me to get back from anywhere. I pay taxes in this city. Not what do you dare to tell me what to do? None of you. You're not going to tell me because you don't know what to do yourself. I'm done with you. I will be back next week.
Mr. Stevens, please don't do that. You're a candidate, remember?
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. Just listening to the candidates walking up here campaigning. For what? Mr. Stevens, what did he do when he was here before? Zero. Against everything. Miss Dunlap, twins. All I'm going to say is this city have the best of leadership. Staff, council, mayor. I don't want to see any better people up there. The job that they're doing, but you're always going to have some people that's going to speak like the naysayers, I had given that up, but I have to bring it back. They are naysayers. They're up here, they're against everything that's good. Everything these people do, they're against it. And there are always going to be people like that in the world. But as an individual that's been here for 18 years, regular, all of the council people, include Mr. Stephen, went to court when he was being sued and he lost big time, documented, want to be mayor of this city. We got the best in the country. And I think the people are going to keep the best in the country. Mr. Buds, I walked the bottom of my shoes off for you to get that job back. I will support you 200%. I don't think you have to worry about these candidates that's sitting behind here criticizing you every week. They've been doing that for 10, 12 years, I know. Nothing, not just you. Mayor Dolan, all the rest of them. But you just keep doing what you're doing, and that's representing the city of Inglewood. And this city progressing the way it is, you won't have no problem. Let these naysayers come on. We're ready for them.
Mr. Mayor, I do not understand about politics, and I do not want to talk about politics. I just want to ask you one simple question. What are you doing currently about the gang activity in the city of Inglewood? I need to know personally. Thank you.
My name is Diane Sombrano. I guess when I think of a person who has been sued and lost tremendously, I immediately think of Miranda warning. Many of us believe that should still apply. and the man sitting before me does not. That would be a significant lawsuit. And since I'm not working on Mr. Stevens' campaign as of now and don't know that I ever will, I will tell you point blank, I know the lawsuit that he brought was on behalf of the residents of this community with regard to LAX expansion. When our current sitting person said, well, LAWA should do what they want to do, and that's on tape. So I would venture to say that someone who will stand up and fight for that which is right for the people of this community is rather important. But that's not what I was going to say when I came up here. My concern was, how did we have a financial audit and no discussion of numbers? Reminds me of Jan Vogel. Remember well, most of you don't. When I first came, Jan Vogel's very first financial presentation was the prettiest, glossiest, colorful, oh my gosh, and not a single number. But it was a financial statement. Yeah, right. Not in the real world, unless, of course, you're taking cash to make that possible, and the printer knows people like colors and graphs and things that are not real. But actually, I think the important thing that we have to address here is the items that are important to this community. And clearly, shutting down a lady who's concerned about safety was not a wise thing to do. Safety is important. I'm looking at, what, 3 or 4 of you that have badges in your past and or firearm training, courtesy of whatever, and yet you allow the representation in this community at this dais to be people who say, I'm going to beat them up, tell them they're not supposed to be here. If you're worried about image, then maybe you should stop supporting those very negative, stereotypic behaviors that happen in this room that suggest that this community is all about taking someone out and beating them.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for listening to me, and I really appreciate for the time taken with us. Sometimes it's very hard to speak about what is my feeling, you know. But it's not the only crime. We can do something else. We have to cooperate too. We have to support you, Mr. Butts. You do your 50, and I do my 50. That's the only way we're going to grow. We're going to be safer. We're going to be the city of champions. I don't want to just talk about crime. There are many beautiful things. I've been living here 22 years, and I haven't said not even bad words of my city where I live, because I won't bite the hand to whom he's feeding me. I won't. I respect my city, I respect my neighbors, I respect my authorities, I respect everyone. About the crime, I just want to be brief. Monday, 21st, I made a call, 2:33 a.m. in the morning, where I live just right behind. It was a truck. I called 911. I didn't call police. I know the police number by memory. I know. If I tell you, you won't believe it. I know. There was a suspicious car. 2:33 is record. They have it. They came look at what, 20 minutes after. Suspicious car in private property. I know. I don't blame you. I'm not complaining to you. But we have to do better effort to make it safer. I'm going to say the last one. Look at what happened. In the library, I was at this time. In the public library, somebody was robbed. Somebody took the purse of one lady right inside of the public library. The cameras, they do anything. The security, he only gets sold when he's run. But the lady said, you can't do anything right outside the building. Let it go. I mean, crime, everything, whatever happened here, happened in China, Paris, Mexico, Hollywood, Beverly Hills. We can do better. We can do better. Mr. Butts, Mr. Eloy Morales, I know his father. I know many of you, yes, few, you know. We can work together.
Thank you, sir.
Keep in touch with your people, Ask it what you need.
Sir.
What can I do?
Sir, we're time.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, but that's my little message. I really appreciate for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. My name is Ethel Austin. I want to clarify something that happened last week, and I want to set it straight and tell the truth. The truth shall set you free. You were accused, the mayor was accused of letting me use profanity in the meetings. That's not true. You wasn't here. Also, what happened, Mr. Testerio wasn't even here. It was a daytime meeting. And I was talking to Councilman Franklin about the physical of his child. And we were rudely interrupted by Ms. Sly, telling him that she has the right to complain about your pay, which I thought was very rude. But to be accused of things that you did not do and what you are not aware of is not right. And from now on, we need to start telling the truth. First of all, everybody want to come up here and run for mayor. It's not that easy. Councilman Mike Stevens was sitting here. I have nothing against him. But the thing is, he was caught in a lie. He said he lived in District 4 when he ran against this man. So right there, he's telling a lie. So once you're caught in a lie, who will trust you again? So this is what I want to mention. And but don't accuse someone of things that didn't happen. It did not happen at all. And for us, Mr. Testerio accusing you, me, Willie, whoever of being your flunkies, and now we your thugs, I think that was wrong. That was wrong. I've never called him out of his name. And I'm not going to let anyone else upset me, because you could get more out of being nice. And Mayor, I understand what you're going through, and the council. Whatever you do, do not come against this in charge. This man, you know, I don't know what he's trying to prove, but in his heart, he should just forgive and let it go. And I want to say to this guy, I really sympathize with your son. I really sympathize with your loss. But it's so hard, the police department in the city, you can't do nothing with gangs. I mean, these kids, it start at home. It's hard, it's really hard, but I know how you feel. I've lost a lot. So that's what I want to say to all the councilmen. And from now on, no more bickering, no more arguing. I'm going to just come here and set everything straight and let the people know who's telling the lie and who's telling the truth.
Thank you. We'll close public comment, council comment. Oh, no, we're not. We're gonna carry that item over for next week.
Oh, okay.
Councilman Dawson.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to start off with something kind of positive. I had the privilege of going to the badge ceremony for the Inglewood Police Department. I got to tell you, as a civilian, going to that badge ceremony gave me a real uplift. You don't have any idea of these people that represent us. sit on that street every day, putting their life on the line for us. I tell you, the people that I saw got pinned today, top notch, the best of the best. In any department you want to think of, education, personality, ability, it was really something to be proud of. And as the chief says, we got the best of the class. Have 5 new entries across the spectrum. You name it, we got it. And I want to tell you, they're not supermen.
And women.
But they're pretty close to it. And as far as someone losing their life in the gangs, I'm so sorry for anybody who loses a child. That's something cannot be replaced no matter what we do. We can only have sympathy for you and try to do the best we can in making you comfortable and making sure that it doesn't happen again. This department, I'm not a part of the inner workings of it, but I know in talking to the chief, they're doing everything they possibly can to get rid of it. And if we just have a little confidence in them, they'll get it done. The other thing is the finances. I don't know how many degrees these people come up to this Mike has in financing. But we are paying people a whole lot of money to tell us our financial position. Now, are we going to take the opinion of other people who have not proven to me that they have degrees in finance? And as far as running a business, I ran one for 30 years, very successfully. So I wish that when you make your assumptions, that you don't include everybody in those assumptions, because some of us do have business minds. And other than that, I thank you all for coming. Like I say, we always pay attention to what you say, and we put an asterisk on it. And please just do one thing for me. Remember where this city came from. When Mayor Butts took over, we're talking about $18 million in the hole. That's fact. That's not fiction, that's fact. Now check and see where we are now and where we're going. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Councilman Padilla.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick comments. I had an opportunity today to go to the Rotary meeting this afternoon and meet with them, and it was a really good meeting, opportunity to represent the mayor and the council and staff there and talk about the good things that we're doing in the community. Very well attended. So I just appreciate the opportunity to be there and present to them. Also, I think the mayor and I think everybody up here on the dais was at the badge pinning ceremony this morning for the police department to celebrate not only the hiring of new police officers and watch them get their badges pinned on them, but also the promotions that occurred for the new sergeants and new lieutenants, the leadership of the police department, and the good hand that we're in the future that's so bright. But special note, it was nice to see our Assistant City Manager, Michael Falco, up there getting his badge being pinned on him by his beautiful daughter, and to see the two of them up there. So congratulations to you, Mr. Falco.
Thank you, sir.
Moving right along, you know, 32 years in law enforcement, actually 37, including the time I had with L.A. as Inspector General, just under that. I had an opportunity to meet a lot of families and talk to them about losses that they've had and to have knocked on doors and let folks know about their lost ones. But, you know, our thoughts and prayers go out to you and your families for your loss. And as the councilman mentioned, you know, I know that this police department's going to do everything they can in their powers, not only to address the issue with gang, but just with any criminal activity in our community. And they've already done an outstanding job. If you look at the crime rate being the lowest it's been in years and decades, but that's not to say that we're not going to have some bad people out there. We have bad folks out there, but when they do something wrong, we have an outstanding police department that'll help us address that issue. And the chief, I think the mayor actually will touch on that in his comments. People come up here and they can say a lot of things and not check their facts. When somebody comes up and says that the council is being strong-armed by the mayor, that's the farthest thing from the truth. We all stand on our own merit. We all are adult professionals that have an education that can make our own decisions up here. We support each other. We work together. We don't have to wait for a council meeting to name and shame people and to argue and bicker just to let you know that, oh, you guys didn't debate something. You know what? We get our packets, and we get these packets on a Thursday, and we have all weekend to review them. We have all weekend to pick up the phone and call staff. We have standing meetings with the city manager, assistant city manager, department heads to go over any questions or concerns that we have.
Would you like a
And
minute?
Please, Mayor.
All right.
To address those issues so that when we get here today, we can run the business of the city and not have to bicker and not have to sit here and argue and put on some type of reality TV show for folks so that that way they can say, oh, yeah, you know what, they are doing their work. Well, you know what, there's more ways to do it and to get it done right in a professional way, and that's what we all do up here. We work together to get that done. We work with staff. We make sure that we're addressing the issues so that we can run this community and run the city in the direction it needs to go. Another thing I want to announce is just a reminder for August 9th, over at True Vine Church in the parking lot, we're having our Discover District 2 event. There's flyers out there on the table. I hope you'll be able to join us and attend that event. It's a great opportunity to bring the community together to see all the good things that we're doing and all the positive things that are taking place in our city. With that, I just want to wish my wife a happy birthday tomorrow. Honey, I love you. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Morales?
Thank you. Just to continue briefly on what Councilman Padilla was saying about how we show up prepared, and that's probably why you see less discussion. The truth is that if we waited until we got up here, all we would do is point at the problem. We really wouldn't have any opportunity to fix it. We wouldn't be able to discuss any solutions. We wouldn't be able to walk down, talk to other department heads, see how it really works, because that's what we do. If we wait till we get up here, all we're doing is pointing at problems. But if we show up, we do what we have to do, we show up and the items are ready. And that's the benefit to our residents. That's just the bottom line. That's basically the same thing Councilman Padilla said. I want to take the time to thank the Midnight Mission. I was fortunate enough to go along with Councilman Padilla and his district. There's an organization called the Midnight Mission, which does an exemplary job of providing housing for families who are in distress situations, sometimes battered woman with a family of children and doesn't have anywhere to stay. They provide housing. There's a yard for the kids. They make sure they go to work. They help them save money. It's an amazing, amazing program. I was so impressed with it. I hope to go back and volunteer in downtown and take my children and really show them, how lucky everybody else is in the world. Also, Señor, lo sentimos mucho, su hijo. Ojalá que pueda conectar con la policía y sentir que la ciudad tiene un departamento que lo puede ayudar, de menos en esos momentos para platicar. So just the condolences, same thing Mr. Padilla said, and the mayor is going to elaborate, but I believe in our police department. I think we have a strong police department. It was, just another example today when we showed up to the badge ceremony. I hadn't been to one in years. I think they used to walk them in here every once in a while, but we got to be there today. And it was an amazing program. Our officers are committed to their career. They're committed to our city. It's an amazing brotherhood there that it showed. I can see, just by the gentlemen that are up here that were law enforcement. I mean, I can't say enough about the way they carry themselves with the rest of us. It really is true. And congratulations to Mr. Falco. That was real cool, out there. Leadership. Some leaderships get challenged. I have to tell you, the best way to judge leadership is through results. And if you look at the results that we're having in the past couple of years, I mean, it's amazing. We can detail all the big things that have happened, and I can point to things where I feel like the leadership, both the mayor's leadership and the council's leadership, but the mayor took a role on that didn't exist, and he walked us through many of those things. I just, you have to, point those things out, and the opportunity to point them out is when people point out the other side. If someone gets up there and they point out the other side, we have the opportunity to point out the correct side that we see. All these political announcements, Mayor, I'll announce my endorsement of you, President. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Franklin.
Ditto. Let me first of all reach out to Mr. Rivera and his loss of his son. My heart goes out to you and your family. I actually have a nephew who was passed away, and to this day, it's been many years, and they still have not solved the crime. So I do wish you and your family well in the healing process. And also, the mayor will elaborate at your request, as well as the Reverend's concerns regarding what are we doing. And that we have a great plan of strategy that we are working on. I want to piggyback on my comment by the colleagues that talked about the badge pinning ceremony, because I was excited to recognize that some of our children in the city of Inglewood are now our officers, and that one little child who, in my other employment, I was instrumental in helping her gain employment at a local retail store here in the city of Inglewood. And then to see her being badged, her name is Jessica Vallejo, being badged now after finishing the police academy, to now be a dispatcher for the city of Inglewood. I think it's also great to see Officer Aguilar, who also graduated with my son and went through the high school era or these classes, and identifying that he has gone to the status of being with the police, the Inglewood Police Department for about 6 years, and now he's just earned the rank of sergeant. And then also, one of the senior lead officers who I've been trying to get in Beat 4 since I've been here without success, Officer Lordermill, has now also received the rank of sergeant, which you watched her blossom as well. And then we had our own distinguished administrator, Michael Falco, who also came, and that he, for the benefit of our community, is the key guy that we reached out to for Homeland Security, and it required for him to advance to get those credentials at the price of sacrificing not being with his family. So I commend you as well. So these are the kind of officers, as an example of the ones that we recognize today. I think also I want to reach out and recognize those that attended the town hall meeting we had this past Saturday. We had a great attendance. We had a lot of information we passed out. Our own city treasurer, Wanda Brown, was there and talked about our city's investments and talk about transparency. She was there to share that information. We had Lieutenant Mark Freed from the Inglewood Police Department that talked about issues concerning quality of life issues for public safety in District 4. We had the general manager of the Hollywood Park Casino that talked about where we are today and where we're going to be tomorrow. We had a great presenter, Mr. David LaSalle of the South Bay One-Stop Center, that talked about job opportunities, preparation for job opportunities, including many of these jobs are union jobs, and that these individuals are not able to qualify because they're delinquent on their union dues, and that the One-Stop Center accommodates them in order for them to move on and also help them with their skills, so they're aware as well. I think it's also critical that I had a special guest come in at the 11th hour, because I just met with that person and her supervisor just the previous few days before the town hall meeting, and that's Lizette Carballo, who is with the Southern California Gas Company, because I was startled to learn, and maybe my colleagues are aware of it, but I wasn't, that they're planning to bring in a new gas line that's going to go on Crenshaw Boulevard that will go through the entire city, coming through El Segundo and Hawthorne behind us, and going north to as far as the 59th Street in Los Angeles. And it's a new line, not digging up the old. It's going to be a brand-new line, and how much disruption and other traffic it's going to have on the city. And then we finished with Captain Brent Burton of LA County Fire Department that taught and spoke about certs, and also the provided on-hands experience of CPR demonstrations, and the residents participated. And finally, as you just heard the fire marshal speak earlier, please help support the Fire Explorer program of Inglewood at the fire station of 171, located at 141 West Regent Street, this Saturday, August 2nd. Breakfast is from 9 to noon. Please help our youth. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Sir, ma'am, we've talked before. Our hearts will forever go out to you for the loss of your loved ones. You asked me directly, what was I doing about gangs, and I'm going to tell you a lot of things that we are doing, have been doing, and what the state of crime is here. But that really is irrelevant to someone who's lost a loved one. That's a hole in your heart that's always going to be there. And with all due respect, ma'am, there's nothing the city's going to be ever able to do that will be enough for the families that have lost loved ones that's going to fill that hole in your heart. But what we can do is do our duty for you. I don't run the police department, but I do strategize with the chief. And, we have 4 gang injunctions in place right now that's had a dramatic impact on the homicide rate here. We are going to have a marshal's task force that goes into operation sometime in August. That's going to give us the equivalent of probably 18 to 24 officers, probably 3 to 4 nights a week on strategic nights. I've said it before, we've had the lowest 3 consecutive years for violent crime and Part 1 crime in this city since we started keeping statistics in 1978. We have managed the city's finances in a way that we're able to save $3 million in next year's budget to redo our computer-aided dispatch system. That's the system that the officers depend on for dispatching, cataloging calls, making us more efficient, automatic vehicle locating system so that we'll know where to send the closest cars to calls. We are investing in our police department. As I mentioned earlier, we had 5 coming out of the academy today, and 5 more go in. We are doing this because, unlike some people think, we're managing cities in the budget in such a way that we can focus on our core responsibilities. Councilman Morales was just mentioning we're spending more on street roadway resurfacing than we ever have in a single year. We have a police activities league because the best thing that we can do to support families, particularly single households, single parent households, is to provide recreational and mentoring opportunities for particularly young men that need those opportunities. So we've maintained a police activities league here since 1986 when I was a captain of police here. We were one of the first police departments on the West Coast to implement that program. We're going to put cameras. Right now we have a company that's been selected, and we have a study being done for the placement of cameras in the park, high-quality cameras. You'll probably be glad to hear, sir, because we recognize the use of cameras primarily as a forensic tool, and by that I mean because you can't monitor them 24 hours a day, they end up being evidence later that you were looking for high-quality cameras. And that project, they're not there now. Of course not. We've just been able to allocate the funds to start investing in the city. When I took office, we had $11 million in the bank. The beginning of this year, we had $22 million. The beginning of next year, we'll have significantly more than that. And I find it a real dichotomy when I have someone get up and say, one day we owe $1.2 billion, another day $167 million, and it's on tape, and then today $900 million, and then in the same breath say he resents the draconian measures we take to cut the budget. How many ways can you have it? Either you owe a lot of money, you have to cut the budget, or you have too much money. I don't understand that, and that doesn't make sense to me. We have managed this city in an exemplary manner, given the condition we had 3 years ago. That we're able to hire police officers, that we're able to invest in our CAD system, that we're able to have a decent reserve for a city of this size, and that we're able to attract big business to the city of Inglewood. I'm sorry, the facts just don't square with the doom and gloom that I heard here today. And Mr. Fisher, I'm proud to know that I still have a police voice. I didn't know I still had it. And I will tell you that all I was trying to do, I was talking to a woman who had issue with a letter that she received from staff, and I felt that that person's identity should be private because, you know, we would deal with the situation privately, as personal as it should be. And quite frankly, he seemed to be so eager to see the name, and the woman herself kept it away because she didn't want to do that. But I want to explain something to you about compassion and treating people right. That letter, since we've had to shrink government, we've lost several positions, and a couple of them are high-paid clerical staff on the 9th floor. And they were replaced with people from One Stop that we are training, that we're giving opportunities to because they fit the constraints of the budget. And one of those employees did the best she could to take a letter and respond to it. She did research. She looked up the relevant documents for the Hollywood Park Tomorrow project, and she did her best. And it should have been reviewed. She didn't understand the procedure, and I definitely was not going to let her be publicly criticized, because I was concerned she would. And since the woman came up here after the council meeting and wanted to talk to me in private, I knew what Mr. Fisher was capable of, and I said, no, I'm talking to her right now. Please step away. But I guess I used my policeman's voice. So, Mr. Fisher, whenever you watch this, it was meant to be offensive to you. I was more concerned about the having compassion for the employee that did the best that she could. We, you know, I know that November's coming, and you know, an election's coming, but one of the things I hope that at some point in our city that we will just grow up. If you're a better candidate, then be a better candidate and say what you're going to do that's better. Don't try to mislead people into thinking that things aren't being done. A blind man could see that this city has changed. I mean, that's a kind of a hopeless strategy, so I shouldn't be giving out political advice, but I would tell you, just let's just be decent. Let's just be decent. So I want to congratulate the Team Dream again and the young lady that won in track and field. I want us to focus on, and they gave me my own gold medal, by the way. So just me, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of where the city is going and the young people that we are raising. And so let's just keep working together. And I promise you we'll keep working with you. But, oh, and also the issue of the number of homicides. We haven't had 20 homicides this whole year, let alone between May and July. And crime statistics are kept on an annual basis, and largely because it gives you enough time to get a representative sample of crime so you know what kind of year that you had. Every homicide is one homicide too many. It's a loss to a family. And so numbers really aren't relevant in this discussion, but because someone had led you to believe that there have been 20 homicides in 2 months, I don't know who did that, they misled you. So we're adjourned, and I hope everybody drives home safely. Thank you.